Alright, the ZDZA EBike. This is the 1200 watt. Now, it is a tank, very heavy. I just put it together. It went together pretty smoothly. Few concerns. Now, the frame and everything seems fine. Very heavy. One, my derailleur took a hit in transit and seems a little sloppy, and the gears aren't really lining up too well, so I don't know. I might just get an aftermarket derailleur. We'll see how it rides. If it goes in the lowest gear, if it goes too far into the highest, or vice versa. If it falls out of the highest or it goes too far in the lowest. The other concern is the gap. Now, you get this with a lot of bikes, though. The gap in between the crank and the sprocket over here, I can't really see it. If the chain falls off, the chain gets wedged in between the sprocket and the bearing housing nut there, the keeper nut. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to get out of there. It kind of gets wedged in there, and you don't want to be pulling on it because you'll bend the chain links. So I actually had to take the chain guard off to get that chain on there without bending the links, the little links on there. The other probably main concern, now I haven't rode it, like I said, I haven't rode it yet, so we'll see. It does work. I turned it on, but and the headlights are very bright, and the taillights work. Is the main concern is the knurling on the handlebars and the neck is very insignificant. And I mean, I torqued it and pushed on these handlebars, and they did move. Don't mind the mess. I gotta clean this kitchen up. I got a nice house. It's nice, but it needs to be cleaned. Typical bachelor. Yeah, you're gonna want to retorque that several times and avoid any movement. If the handlebars move, kind of leave them, take them home, loosen it. I don't know about that. I could go the red Loctite way and just make it permanent. But that is the biggest cause of concern. The handlebars have very insignificant knurling and just aren't really grabbing on there. So I will torque that down a few more times without breaking it. It has the older style headset with the wedge down in there, which is fine. This is definitely not a bike you're going to want to do any kind of turmoil on. It's just a cruiser. Strictly cruise down the road, cruise down the bike trail. That is it. I did do the hack already where you hold these two, you push this, you click it up and it goes to 50, you push this and you hold that, and I got the speed to go to 25. Now with my fat ass, I'll be lucky to do 20. So it will go from 20 to 25. Freewheeling with no weight. There is a hack on YouTube if you don't remember how to do it. You just hold these two, it blinks, come on camera, then you push this, and then go up to 50, push that again, then hold these. Oh, there's my timer. It took me 2 hours to put it together, a little less. I took my time. Now, I noticed these are all what you call kind of electric skateboards too. The cheap, one big factory makes frames. These littler companies buy these pre-made frames. They do their paint jobs, whatnot, put their stencils on. There are several brands with this frame, the same frame. Now, this battery is a little better battery. I think it has Sanyo cells, and it is UL listed, and it is a little more powerful of motors, 1200, and I think it's 10.5 watt hours. So it's not, you probably get 20 miles out of it. I mean, honestly, it depends how much you pedal. Now, at this rate with the derailleur, I'm probably not going to be pedaling very much until I get a different. I'm probably just going to go with a better derailleur. Now it does have Shimano parts, but we all know what happens to some of these brands. They just kind of go down they have their levels of quality. So I might just find another derailleur. It's not hard to put on. They're all pretty much the same. I just got to check to see if there's, the travel on them. This is only a 7-speed versus a 12 or 18 or 21. So I'll check into that before the cable gets messed up. So I might just put a different derailleur because you got a little plastic cap here. It's, it's kind of the Huffy or the Kent of the electric bikes. Now, I got it for $429, and I bought it with a firm. I got 1 year to pay for it, and I will pay for it. This is no glitch, and it cost me an extra $100, so I paid, say, $529 for it. So it's not a bad deal. If you get a couple years out of it, I think it'd be well worth the purchase price. Because to be honest, a decent bike is $1,200 to $1,800. A good one, you're talking $2,500, and that's just outrageous. I'm not gonna pay that for a freaking e-bike. So I'll make another video after I ride it a while and see how long. I'm sure the hub motor will be all right. It's just, I'm kind of more worried about the derailleur. And there were issues about the brakes. People said the brakes don't grab too well. They may have used too hard of, brake pad on it. I don't know. Everybody's saying get hydraulic. Well, again, it goes with the price. It's basically just mountain bike brakes. Now, they are vented or slotted, vented, whatever. So we'll see about the brakes. I got pretty strong hands. I can really grip on it. But yeah, it might need different pads, a different type of material, a little softer of material on them pads for a little better grip. And I also could use, the other thing is too, a little Scotch-Brite on those rotors if they start getting too shiny. That'll help set those pads in. So we'll see with the brakes. I rode electric skateboards for a few years. Boards that went 30 miles an hour. 20, 25 to, downhill a lot quicker, until eventually I wiped out drunk and messed up my shoulder. But I had those. The one was, I think, a 30 amp hour. It had 4 battery packs underneath. And I had a Walgo 2 with the Sanyo battery pack, and I can't remember what that was. It was like 12 or 15 amp. It was a pretty good sized battery. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But the one had 4 battery pack. It had 5 little compartments underneath. One was the BMS, and then 4 batteries. And yeah, I could just go balls to the wall, 27 to say 34 miles an hour downhill, and I could get 20 some miles out of that board, just hauling ass, belt drive. So yeah, my electric skateboard will blow the doors off this, but yeah, this is a lot safer. But yeah, if this company's watching, man, I'm not too thrilled about your neck here, your knurl job. This is pretty tight. I wouldn't mess with this. Where they got this, just leave this neck, because you can run into problems with these too. But yeah, if these start stripping, I'm not going to be too happy. I don't know how thick the handlebars seem pretty thick, so I'm not too worried about the actual handlebar squashing, mushrooming, and then it's stripping. I'm more worried about the knurling on the handlebars and the thickness of this neck. That clamp could have been a little bit wider, guys. That's kind of a little chintzy. You can only see so much from a picture. This neck should have been, her clamp should have been about as wide as this. Kind of like a BMX bike. Actually, should have just been bolt through from the front. The plate in the front and one piece. So, some of these companies really are, man, I gotta clean this kitchen. Don't mind the mess. I still got stuff from my mom was here. I got a lot of stuff to move. But the horn is loud. The display is nice. The seat's comfortable so far. I sat on it. And if anything, man, I got the world's longest lasting flashlight if the battery holds up. The power goes out, man, I'll have lights in here for probably 2 days. But, so far, 0 to 10, 0 being like complete junk, a tin can nailed to a board. or 10 being, the world's best. So far, and I'm not going to blame the derailleur on the company. The box did get kind of hit a few times. So I'm sure that was probably fine. And I mean, you could. And no, they do. Whoa. They do cock in a little bit, but that one's just, it's not lining up very well. And when you go backwards, it clicks. So yeah, that derailleur's junk. Yeah, I don't know. I'll contact the company, get a new one. I know how to put a new one on. It's not that hard. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, yeah, it'd be nice to have, $3,000 for something super fast, do 50 miles an hour, and all aluminum and titanium and whatnot. But I just don't have that kind of money. And yeah, this chain guard's kind of wonky. I've just bend that in a little bit more. There we go. There's new. But you get what you pay for. If you just want a nice little cruiser. And this did have better reviews than a lot of the bikes. So I think everybody was like, yeah, it's not bad. A few people rode it more than a year already, so that is promising. But, all right, it's been long enough. Thank you.